Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kim Il-sin from Dineature Because it's a new company, I decided to promote our company in Korean so that it can be more accurately delivered to you. We have neurodegenerative diseases, therapeutic approaches, and I'm going to talk about the uh, present and the future of our company. Before I go into the presentation, then please look at the disclaimer. You can see that Denature Biolabs is a total brain healthcare bio R&D company. We not only cover neurodegenerative diseases, but also total neuro-related diseases, neural stem cell platform. As a therapeutic, we use this platform so that hard-to-cure diseases, neural diseases, and disease-specified therapies are created. And in particular, from neurodegenerative diseases, we are focusing on strokes and Alzheimer's diseases. And as an aggressive marketing event, are trying very hard to introduce a neural cell therapy into Korea, TAURX, and we have shown many great results. As you can see from the graph, global drug market is showing 7.2% of growth, and by 2026, it'll grow to $62 billion. And you can see that stroke and Alzheimer will take up about more than 50%. And here, orphan drugs are going to account for 6.6%, including ALS and autoimmune diseases and multiple sclerosis, maybe taking up about 1%. And there's a steep growth, which is 22% annually, and about a 76 billion-dollar regenerative disease market is going to grow to 76 billion, as I mentioned, and once stem cell therapy market that can apply our direct technology will amount to $13 billion by 2026. And also Pinta neural stem cell is different from the conventional stem cell therapy. Compared to the conventional ones, it is going to show off better efficacy. You can expect this an membrane stancer or MDSU option. Compared to those two options, it also boasts better safety. And for cell source, we are using first trimester neural parts. We take stem cells from the first trimester fetus, and then as you can see from the images, there are neurogenesis stem cells, and they create neurons. And during the second or third trimester, they create glicogenesis. So if you look at our platform, it is divided into different levels. First, we use fetal nerve system, and we culture stem cells, and we get as many cells as possible. And once these cells are collected, then each neuron cell is going to be utilized for the right condition, and the final products are collected. And these final products can be placed into pathophysiological feature, and that's the platform that we have developed and have been utilizing. The first pipeline that we have is to target ALS, which is called Lou Gehrig's diseases, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. This is the most common motor neuron disease, and once it breaks out, then patients tend to die within 5 to 10 years. It's a rare disease, and the current options, medicinal options, are relatively slow the progress of the disease, but there are still existing unmet needs. About 5.6% of CAGR is expected over the next few years. Not only that, if you look at the domestic market size, about 4,500 patients are expected, and the domestic market is going to be around a 50 billion won market. As a result of Labs is going to utilize, will develop an orphan drug, and for MOLE would be motor neurons when they're dying out. We have to improve the environment so that more motor neurons are not dying out, and they for the GDNF secretion we can get the disease or treat the disease. And another possible applicable disease would be stroke. Stroke is basically where you develop a blood clot, and then that eventually kills the cells related to that region. And that environment, for that environment, you can see there's TPA. It's the name of the medicine, and you have to administer this medicine within 3 years. That's 3 hours. That's the only option to cure stroke. Aside from that, there's no available options. But because the society is aging, the market is growing rapidly, and in Korea, more than 620,000 patients are expected, and the market size is expected to grow as well. So that quickly administrable allergenic neurocell therapy is being developed, and this cell therapy, what I can tell you for now is that in the case of stroke, the first reaction is immunoreaction. So because it's an immunoreaction, neural cells can exude different materials, and that is why we would like to target that very factor. So for the first year of R&D, we are going to develop cell therapeutics, and we need to make sure that we have a large-sized, mass-produced cell base. And then the second year, utilizing cell therapy, we have to have GMP facilities in order to create cell banks so that preclinical cells are generated. And by utilizing preclinical cells, we have to carry out non-clinical animal tests so that toxicity and any other chemical medicine producing procedures can be adopted. And then from third year, we're going to collect documents and materials for cell bank and animal tests so that clinical studies can be embarked. And currently, clinical data cells that can be produced in GMP is very important. The initial creation, as you can see from this image, we're focusing on AMD and stroke. But once the cells are created, after that, you can also target multiple sclerosis, HIE, and other neurodegenerative diseases. And I think the scalability is going to be quite sizable. Next, I'm going to share Open Innovation Project. There is LMTX under Taurex Therapeutics. This LMTX is going through clinical stage 3 and 4 for Alzheimer's disease treatment. And you can see this image on the right side, very complicated looking poster, and Tau or X has been accumulating Tau platform for a long time, and with this established platform, for the first time in the world, Tau-based Alzheimer's disease treatment was developed, and it's going to become a game changer in the relevant industry. So now I'm going to look at pharmacologic principle of Tau therapeutics,
which communicate using electrical and chemical signals. Tau protein, through binding at its supports microtubules needed for cell structure and to provide rapid transit pathways for vesicles and cell components to the synaptic junction. Aging brain neurons lose some ability to clear waste material, which can accumulate as tau can bind and misfolded tau can capture normal tau, causing it to misfold and form oligomers, which disrupt the synapse. Tau oligomers can transfer to other neurons, the same process of tau capture, causing the disease to spread. As oligomers aggregate and grow, they form paired helical filaments and then bundles called tangles. As neurons fill up with tangles, they can no longer function properly and eventually burst, leaving behind just tangles. The experimental drug LMTM tau aggregation by binding tightly within the misfolded blocking further binding and actively releasing individual subunits. These are shunted to proteasomes for degradation. Cleared of tau oligomers and synapses can work properly again. LMTM therefore has potential to slow and stop disease progression and preserve neuronal function.
Yes, related to tau RX Alzheimer's disease, I'm not going to reiterate this twice, but according to the domestic materials, if you look at top 5 medicine lists, the global market is targeting Alzheimer's disease and I think dementia. Targeting dementia has a very big social and economic impact. As you also see from here, early this year, avucanab was partially approved, and this is now becoming a hot topic in the dementia disease industry. And for cognitive disabilities, because it's not fully approved, dementia or Alzheimer industry is waiting for a new innovative drug, and there are ongoing unmet needs. And recently, the interest for tau is going up. Instead of amyloid beta, tau is gaining attention as a root cause of Alzheimer's disease. And as you can see, if you look at clinical part 3, tau RMS, LMTX is the only material, and there are many different tau materials as candidates, but tau LMTX, because it is going through clinical stage 3, it is a leader compared to other options, and because it's antibody-oriented mechanism, when it comes to cost, it has a clear advantage as well. That is why in order to properly import and have the right to distribute tau in Korea, we made and signed an agreement, and now it is going through the clinical stage 3 called Lucidity. Lucidity went through 2 different rounds of clinical study, and based on the data, it marked and specified candidates, and then it also came up with efficient dosing. That is why I think there is a high chance of success. And the conclusion of Lucidity is that the top line result is going to come out early next year, and then late next year there's going to get approval for new drug from FDN and MFDS. As you can see from this image at Dineature we are going to claim the right for the distribution, production in Korea, and also partial IP in Korea, and also clinical study right for Korea as well, and we're now going through that whole process. Not only that, during the pandemic, LMTX, we wanted to see whether repositioning is available, and there are preclinical data produced, and we saw a possibility. As you can see from this image, in Iran, there were phase 2 and phase 2 clinical trial that went through, and you can see the oxygen rate went up and the breathing got improved as well. As a result, Tau RX and our company are going to plan clinical studies targeting severe coronavirus patients. And as you can see, LMTX domestic production, distribution, IP rights, and lastly, clinical trial right will be handed over to our company, and it is being processed. This is everything from my side, and because we are a relatively new company and I'm not so experience, but please stay interested and give support to our journey in the future. Thank you very much.
네,